Good morning. Happy Friday. Coffee and a card day. Let me get my coffee. Cheers. Got the appropriate shirt on today too, right? Well, welcome. Good morning, Shirley. You're on nice and early. I love it. Thank you so much. I guess when I schedule the start of my lives, which I've done last week and this week, I guess you're able to hop on just before I actually hit the button to go live. So that's kind of neat. I learn something new all the time. Always good to learn new things, right? So good morning, everybody. Let me just take that off for now. That little banner, don't need that at the moment. So how is everybody? Say a hello, say a good morning. Tell us where you're from if you like. It's always fun to see who's joining us in the country or the world. I am Lorraine Sish, Stampin Up demonstrator here in the US. I reside in Maryland, and it's nice to join you every Friday at 10 a.m. for coffee and a card. And usually that one card I end up showing you more than one card because I said, well, you can have this basic card, but then you could do it this way, you could do it that way, you can also do this, you could do that. So it's kind of like a theme and variations. I was a music teacher and went to college for music, and theme and variations is a musical form where a composer takes just a little theme, like Mozart did it with the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star theme, and he created a lot of variations on that, changing the tempo, changing the speed, changing the meter, from 2/4 to 4/4, 3/4, whatever. Just changing the mood of it, but keeping the basic skeleton or structure. So that's kind of what I like to do with my cards when I show you. But you know what? Today's going to be different. Today's just one card. Just to shake a card, I'm going to show you from start to finish. Is not very hard, but that's just the only one I have for today. So welcome, good morning, Susan and Wanda Nadine. Okay, all the fellow stampers. Nadine is from New York, North Carolina. Susan, Florida, and nice to see you all. Hi, Patty. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Patricia. From Denmark. Wow, nice to see you on. Thank you so much for joining us. What time is it for you there? Evening, I'm sure. So I got out real early today. I'm having an open house tomorrow to show off a lot of new products that's happening in the new catalog and new online exclusives, which starts May 6th. Okay, so coming up, starting on Tuesday, you can start ordering all these fun things we've been showing you. And so I'm having an open house so people can see that. They'll do a make and take. We have some snacks planned, and it'll be a lot of fun. Have about maybe 10, 12 ladies coming. It'll be a lot of fun. And so I went out shopping for some last minute things this morning. So I didn't have time to make my own coffee. So stopped by Starbucks. My local grocery store has a Starbucks in there, but I had to put it in my coffee mug so I could keep it warm on my burner over here. So anyway, welcome. We are doing the shaker card that I showed online last week. It was a card for my grandson who loves ocean animals. He loves all kinds of animals, actually, but he started off with ocean animals and he still loves ocean animals. So I had to just use the Ocean Friends set, the bundle stamp set, and dies to make a card for him. And I always try to do something unique. How could I not for my grandson? Either a pop-up or a fun fold, or in this case, a shaker card. So I'm going to show you that. Good morning, Debbie. Nice to see you. 4:30 p.m. in Denmark. Okay. Thanks, Patricia. So it's kind of tea time, right? Tea time over there. All righty. So we're going to take our last sips and we're going to get started because probably not going to go the full time today since I do have some things to get going. We're having some guests and I'm getting ready for tomorrow and trying to make more and more projects as I can with the new products that I have so I can show them off tomorrow. All right, so take your sips, sit back, relax, and we'll get started. Okay, I will turn my camera around. Okie doke. So these are the main products that we're using. I'm going to cut a window with the largest square from Stylish Shapes. Our card base is just all white. The color is going to be highlighted on the coral, the seagrass, and the crab. From Maryland, we had to do crab. You can certainly use a lobster if you prefer. Maybe I should have done a lobster since he has the crab, and I could have borrowed that card, but that's okay. We will make it work. So I have here, when I'm using white, I like to use thick white for my card base because the Stampin' Up! Regular basic white is a little thinner than the colored cardstock. So it's good to use something heavier. So this is more like the weight of the colored cardstock. So we're going to take a typical half sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, score it at 4 1/4. Hi, Michelle. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Yay. Furnish that with your bone folder. Oh, that reminds me, I packed up a lot of my stuff for the make and take. I have to put bone folder in there. So let me put that in my box. I have my box of things ready to go. Okay, then we need another layer that's going to go on top, and that's just a 1/4 inch smaller. I know it's hard to see on the camera when it's white on the white background, but it's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, we're going to cut a window in there. I'm going to put it high enough so that my crab can go about here, and I'm going to leave room for sentiment over there. Okay, and I forgot to pull out the sentiment that I used. Oh, where was that one? I don't know if it was this one, but I'm going to use that one from Darling Dinos, I believe. Oh, I can always do You're the Best also. Okay, I want something kind of small. And the sentiments that come with this are large. Now, a reminder that on the front of your stamp case, the images are not always true to size, because if they did them true to size, they wouldn't fit on here with the title and everything. So these are much bigger. You can see, I'll show you the lobster here. It does tell you down below, these images are 75%. So look at the difference here between what the real thing is and what the image is on the front. So just remember that when you're looking at your stamp cases, if you're trying to find something, say like a sentiment that's going to fit on a project or a frame or something, don't say, oh yeah, that's going to fit. And then you open it up, you're surprised that it's much larger. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to cut a window here. I'm going to put it more on the higher side. I'm just eyeballing it so that I have kind of an equal amount on both sides and the top. So that's what's determining how high I go with this. Actually, I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. I changed my mind just thinking it out, because I'm going to be putting foam adhesive sheets along the edge of here and along there. If I put it too high, there might not be enough room to fit both. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, and I'm going to secure that with a piece of washi tape. I like to use my grid paper to try to help me visualize straight. And yes, thanks, Nadine. I do remember that. I just don't remember which set it was from. That's okay. It's okay. This will work. Just use what you have. I certainly have enough to choose from. It's just a matter of Me looking around the side here of my camera. Okie dokie. So you have your base plate number 1. You have your white plate number 2. You have your lucite plate number 3, which mine is very used and very etched, but I keep turning it over. When it stops cutting cleanly, I will retire this one and use it as my top sheet, as long as it doesn't leave those etching marks on the front of my project. In that case, I will just retire it completely and say, you've done me well, but time for you to go. Okay, then number 3 on top again. Did you notice I'm putting this slightly at an angle? Because it's a lot easier for a tip or a corner to go in first and ease its way into the rollers that are inside your machine. If you're doing it straight, it can work, but you're going to get really hard, like going over a speed bump, I keep saying. So it's a lot easier. It just kind of works its way in more smoothly if you can put a corner or an edge in first. And see that? You didn't even hear the clunk, right? Okay, so a fun part of this is you have this for another project. Put that aside. I have a pile of things here. I have some frames. I have some circles I've punched out. So I like to keep them handy so that I remember to use them right away. I don't always, but I try. I try. I'm going to peel this off very gently so that it doesn't pull the paper. And like I said, I always kind of take some of the sticky off with my fingers before I even put it on. Okay, so we have that. That's going to be our layer. Like that. All right, now let's cut out some coral and some crab. Okay, so again, this was stylish shapes, the largest square. Oops, see there I have some extras just stored in there. So you know what I'll do? I'll put that in there. So someday I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll say, oh, I want that biggest square. And I say, oh, I don't have to cut it. It's already done. Very nice. And I love, love, love the magnet sheets that I get from Stampin' Storage. That way they don't rattle around in there. Okay, let's do some crab. You can certainly do a red one, but red one around here means it's been steamed in Old Bay. Okay, so just to show you the process, this is one I already did. I'm using boho blue ink on boho blue paper with the outline in Misty Moonlight. So I know I did the back, but I'll just show you the process because that's what you're here for, right? Some of you know this, but might be some new people who would like to see it happen in person. Hey, hi, Barbara. Good morning. You're up early today, my friends. Okay, so that's boho blue on boho blue. Boho blue is retiring in a couple of days. Oh, I love boho blue. Show me thumbs up or some indication if you love boho blue. What do you think about the retiring in colors in general? Are you going to miss them? Are you okay to see them go? What do you think? Okay, so this is the detail that's going on top of the crab. Okay, and you know what? I did go a little bit off on that claw there, but it's okay because if you see, it's not complete lines. It's just like highlights, like where the ridges would be on the crab. And the same thing if you do the lobster. And you know what? I might just use the other side. That might have come out a little bit better. All right, although the leg is a little different. Well, I think it looks better than the claw being off. So I'm just going to flip it and use the one that I did before. Okay, then we need the die that's going to cut that out. Oh, I'm glad you stocked up on the boho blue, Nadine. Good for you. Okay, so again, with these framelits here, you're going to want to secure that with some washi or post-it tape or a post-it note that has a lot of sticky on the back. And let's run this through again. Well, again, we're using the machine. We're not running through the grab again. Okay, there he is. And carefully pull that off. I just stick it on the side of my machine and use it over and over. All right, we'll put that back. And then we're going to want some grasses. And for that, I have two kinds of green. I have granny apple green and I have lemon lime twist. So you can see I did that before. So I'm going to just run a couple of those, and I can run those through my machine at the same time. The fewer cranks I have to do, the better. Now flip that over, because if you keep flipping it, it will not warp, at least not nearly as much as it normally would. And while I have this out and running, I'm going to also do some of these little sea stars or starfish. They cut 3. And you can see I did that twice on the other card. I still have that piece there. So I'm going to run that through the machine. Then I'll run it again so I get 6 of those. But I may as well run it through when I do the coral. Okay, I'm not going to bring the machine back in the sight here because you know what it looks like. Oops, one of my sea stars moved. Okay. All right, I'm not totally sure how much grass I'm going to want. I'm going to cut some extra. I might build the sea floor a little differently, but I'm going to mix it up. I'll put the small one on the lemon lime twist, and I'll put the big one on the granny apple green. And then I may as well run these little starfish, just poking them out with my take your pick tool. Run those through one more time. Anybody have some special projects going on this weekend? You know, it's kind of getting time for graduations, confirmations, communions. End of May and June get to be pretty busy. So if you have a bunch of those, so I can get started on your card making. Okay. Leave these stuck in there. I'll just poke them out. There are these little holes in the dies that are made for you to poke them out if they stick. And although I've never really did it, if these start kind of sticking in there a little bit, you can do a little pass through with some wax paper, and then it will kind of make these a little less, no, they won't stick quite as much. Okay. Now, oh, I forgot one of the little sea star guys. Here we go. Now, I love this nice big piece of coral here. Of course, you have to use Calypso Coral for that, right? How could you not? And I'm going to be able to cut that down. And I'm going to put some in the window in the shaker card and some on the outside to give it a little bit more dimension and depth. A horse show, Debbie. Wow. It must be fun to see. I hope you have good weather. Has she been riding long? Does she compete? When I was younger, I did very minimal horseback riding, like just following the trail, you know, the lazy little horse that follows a horse in front of it, and you ride for about half an hour. That was about all I did when I was like 12. I had friends that are into horses. All right, so I have my elements for my scene. Like I said, I'm going to cut this one kind of in half down here, and then that'll give me 2 pieces to create more depth. I love these greens together. And you want to make sure your sea stars are facing upward. There we go. Okay, these are really neat because they're stitched. So that also gives that feeling of the coral. Yeah, I'm wondering if you could see that, but it is stitched, trust me. And the grasses are neat because it has a split in there. So it looks like the vein of the leaf, but also that is kind of gives it more texture that way too. All right, so when I was creating this shaker card and kind of building my scene back there, I was saying, well, when I put my things inside, which these are retired, they're Whale of a Time sequins. Okay, these are retired right now, but they were just what I needed for an ocean shaker card. They have some little tiny shells and some fun colors of the ocean. So I said, if I put these inside, those little sequins are going to get stuck on all this stuff. So I said to myself, let's cover that over with some window sheets as well. When you're doing a shaker card, you typically put window sheet behind the front, which is your window. So we're going to do that first. Okay, you can Stampin' Up sells the window sheets. I hope they still do at one point. Okay, and I am going to just, you can use glue, but right now I'm going to use my Seal Plus, just so it doesn't get too messy. I'm just going to do a border around what I cut out. All right, and that opening is, I think, about 3 inches. Hold on. No, 2 3/4. 2 3/4 square. So if I cut this to 3 inches, I should be good. You want it to go beyond your opening. Let's move the sequins out of the way, Lorraine, so you don't knock them all over like crazy. Okay, if you don't have window sheets, I probably could have gone a little bit bigger on this, but that's okay because it's going to, as long as it covers that opening, we're good. Okay. Then I'm going to, like I said, we want to put some of these foam strips. You can use dimensionals, like the edges of the dimensionals, but the whole idea is you want this to be sealed off. So it's going to hold in all your sequins. Okay, so that's where the foam strips really come in handy. And the foam strips are actually a little bit thicker than the dimensionals. I don't know if I can show you that. Actually, they're I don't know if they're twice as thick, but they are maybe not quite twice as thick, but close. And they are thick. So I'm going to just peel one of those off and use my sticky scissors. I'm going to go all the way around here, right around the box. And then cut. I want to make sure I meet right up there so none of my shaker elements, whatever you use, you don't want them to escape. You can use the little pieces here. You just want to make sure you butt them up against each other. Okay, so I'm just putting them right up against. Nobody gets to escape. All right, leaving the backing on for now. Now we also, obviously, we can't just have the support in the middle. It's going to have to go all the way around as well. So we're going to do the same thing all the way around the card. So that's what I meant. You want to make sure you have enough space here for both rows of the foam strips. Good morning, Lydia. Good to see you. And Cindy, welcome. Yeah, the shaker cards. Oh, this is two. Shaker cards are fun to go in the mail, but you want to mail them carefully. They might need extra postage. You don't want them to break, or maybe ask your postal person to hand stamp it so it doesn't go through the machine and crunch. Or if you can, just hand deliver it to the person like I did for my grandson. Hi, Joan. It's okay. No problem being late. I'm glad you're here. Okay, we're at the point where I cut my frame in my front layer. I added window sheet to the middle, and I'm putting foam strips around the window and around the outside. Cut this part just a little shorter. Just a little too far. Okay, this outside, you don't have to worry about anything being sealed. You just want the support. Especially since the middle is raised, you don't want the edge getting pushed down and bending and looking sloppy. So I tend to just go all the way around also. You don't have to. You can do pieces, or you could use your dimensional dots. But what the heck? I don't make shaker cards all that often, so I have all these strips. May as well use them. Okay, they come in this big long, big long package. You get a lot. They go a long way. What do they say here? 40 strips. Yeah, so you get like 2 or 3 of those sheets of strips. That's all good. All right, so I can feel that card is well supported all the way around the outside and around the window. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't want my sequins and stuff getting stuck on the edges of here, I'm going to build my seam, but then I'm going to put a window sheet over it so that my shaker elements, my sequins, are going to be in between 2 window sheets, and the window sheets, as you know, are glossy, and it's going to slide around very nicely. Excuse me. So that means I need to have an idea where that seam is going to be, right? So that's why I wanted to do this top part first. Mr. Crab is going on last at the end, so put him aside. This little piece of coral is going to be the one that I use on the front, and I'm going to use this other one in the background. So I can slide that right in there, and this is where my press and seal is going to come in handy. Okay, so press and seal is a handy tool when you're building a scene and then it's just right and you don't want to move it because you might not get it back the way you really want it to be. So let's see how this goes. We'll kind of build the scene. Oh, one thing I wanted to try to do also, which I didn't do on my grandson's card, was maybe add a couple little bubbles in the background. Not sure I'm going to like it, but we're going to give it a try. Okay, because this comes with some little bubble stamps. So let's see, just adding a few lightly in the background. I'll use the boho blue. I might want to stamp it off first, so I'm going to practice and see what that looks like. Okay, I have two. Let me get a piece of scrap white. Let's see what that looks like. Stamp full strength and then stamped off. The only thing with stamping off, okay, I do like, see this time I didn't get all the ink off, so it was darker. Oops, it was darker on this bubble here. This was full strength and this was stamped off. I think I like it more subtle in the background because I want all this to look real pretty and colorful. So let's see what I can do. Put that aside. I'll keep a couple of the set of 3 bubbles and then a set of the 4 bubbles. I'll keep this here to stamp off on. And here we go. That might look cute, right? All right, let's clean off that and put in some of the 2 bubble stamp. Don't want too much. What do you think? Bubble's going to be okay? Okay, I think that's enough. Don't want to overdo it. It looks cute without even. I just had that thought. Let's see what it looks like with some bubbles. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Glad you like that idea. Yeah, that way it's not going to get caught on stuff. The idea of the shaker card is you want the insides to move around, right? If it doesn't move around, it's annoying. Shaking is getting caught and you can't see the stuff. No malfunctioning shaker cards, please. All right. Again, I'm going to use this as my guide. That there, maybe I want that to go about here. The edges aren't going to be seen so much. So I kind of like the way that looks. And so this is where my press and seal is going to come in handy. This is a used piece, so it can be used again. I just folded it. The sticky part is here. You're going to put that down on top of your pieces. I know that moved a little bit, but it's going to hold them in place so I can pick them up off of the card, and then I can add my glue and then put it back down where it needs to be. Love this little trick, or this hack, like they say. I get tired of hearing the word hack. Very often people are using the word, oh no, inappropriately. Like, it's not a hack, it's just a hack kind of means you're kind of doing something wrong, or I don't know. All right, that looks good still. Sometimes it's just a helpful tip, not a hack. Oh, come on. Moves down to the end. Let me grab another one. Hopefully this one's better. Oh, yeah. Now, because these have those little slits in there, you might not want to get too much glue where those slits are. A little bit's fine, but if it's too much, then it's going to ooze out and it'll be sticky on the front of your card. Okay, I'm going to hold my window over that. Okay, sorry. I hope you see me back again. For some reason, one of my internet connections suddenly decided to say, nope, no internet. That has never happened unless we had a storm or something like that. So thank you for hanging in if you did. Um, ay, ay, ay. Okay, I am so sorry. I hope you stay on. And if you did not stay on, I hope you'll catch the replay. So anyway, I logged on to, luckily I had a backup, an extender, so I hooked up onto the other one. Alrighty, so here we are. We put our seam here. As I was saying, we want to put a window sheet that's bigger than this one so that it makes sure it's held down. So I think the other one I did 3 1/4. I'm going to do 3 1/2 on this one just to make sure it extends because I don't want to see the edge of this one through the window here. So I'm going to cut that at 3 1/2. Nothing like just going with the flow, right? Oops. Okay. Anyway, one thing I was about to say is if you don't have window sheets, what you can sometimes do is, let me switch the camera around here. That would help, wouldn't it? Oh, is it getting funky on me again? There we go. Okay. In your stamp cases, your photopolymer stamps come on a sheet that's pretty firm. The only thing is sometimes it might not be as clear and clean as when you get a new window sheet. So something like where you're putting it on the back of something, then maybe you can make that work. Or, if yours looks pretty clean or clean enough, or you're covering up something, then it can all be good. So I'm going to glue this down all the way around. I'm going to actually use my liquid glue this time and put it on the edge. Maybe it'll help to have my silicone sheet here to catch anything that might spill over, especially on the acetate. It just really smushes. I sometimes do this when I'm teaching new people to use just a thin piece of glue, a thin bead of glue, because they could see how when you press it down, it spreads. So very often I have some beginners who put tons of glue, especially close to the edge, and then well, you know what happens? It just oozes all out. So when you do a demonstration on the acetate, you could see just how much it spreads. And then hopefully they'll be very strategic with when they glue that down. All right, then this is going to go over, but first we have to add our little sequins inside there. So we're going to just make a pile in the middle so that when I put this over, they're going to stay contained within the foam dots here. You can be fairly generous too. Don't be too skimpy, is what I need to say. Because when you hold the card up, they're all going to be slipping down anyway. So when you shake it, you want the full effect of things mixing up in there. I'm making sure my sea stars are face up. They're not going to flip. They don't have room to flip when they're in there. So, all right, just going to bring everything to the middle so that when I put my frame down, nothing's going to get caught in there. Okay, now what I did not do was stamp on here first. That's what you should have done first. So it's a little late for me to do that, so I'm just going to have to add a label. I'll pull all these off. I was so excited about doing the mechanism for the shaker card. I forgot to do the stamping part. Okay, because you've pieced this, make sure you get all the little pieces. Okay, that was a nice long one. All right, we're all good. Now this is really sticky. Once it's down, it's down. So make sure you get right over the top there. And I'm going to stand up and look straight down on there. Okay, it's done. So now those sequins are flying around nice and easily because it's on sandwiched between the two acetates. Okay, so now we can add our pieces to the to the front. And then we have a little bit more dimension there. So I'm going to glue down this coral. I'm going to pop up Mr. Crab on dimensionals. We don't have enough thickness on here already, right? Going to add extra postage anyway. I don't think you would have to if you just had the shaker. A lot depends on your postal system. Some let you get away with it, some not. I haven't sent a shaker card like this in the mail for a while, so I really don't know. I know when I send like a regular thick thank you card or birthday card in the mail, and I include maybe a small pack of embellishments, that thickness I can get through with one regular stamp. So I would think that's about the same as this. Who knows? All right, I'm going to cover that. Well, I should have thought a little bit more about that there. I don't want to see the end of the coral. So I'm going to cover that with the crab's leg and put it right there like that. And on this, since it's dark, I'm going to use my black mini dimensionals. And I end up having a lot of those, so I use the big ones first. I know I had one that was started. Well, maybe I finished it. Start another one. And with these, I like to use my pick tool to get them off. Just get under. Perfect for behind the crab claws. And down here by the legs. Okay. Like the sandwich. Oh, hi, Daddy. Welcome back. All right. One thing with the mini dimensionals, you have more flexibility as to getting around the nooks and crannies, whatever you're adhering down. And like I said, because these are dark, it won't show up so much if you catch a glimpse from the side of the card. More inconspicuous, I suppose. Yep. We have an extra piece of grass. Ooh, I could do that. Yeah, it's not seen very much though, is it? If I do that, I could put that this way. But then not much room for my sentiment. Oh no. Oh no, I stuck him down. He fell down. I guess he's staying there. All right, I think I will stick this inside there. Oh well, we will just have to be creative with our sentiment. But anyway, you get the idea of the shaker card. With these seagrass, I'm going to make sure I spread some glue to the top. I'll put my bead early down, like further down here, a little dot, and then just spread it up to the top. So it's nice and thin, but it's going to stay down. Oh well, Mr. Crab just wanted to be there. What can I say? All right. Once he's down, he's down. He's grabbing on with those claws real good. Use your kitchen scale and 1/4 inch template. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can make that. And that's what I do. I actually have one from the post office. somebody, they were getting rid of a certain one and whatever. So I got it, and it has that slot in like a piece of plastic. So I know if it fits in there. Sometimes they're picky though. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I can get it through, but it rubs a little bit. So sometimes it's a gray area. And I use my scale. Yep. I actually have a mailing scale because I mail a lot of packages and I weigh them. I do my shipping labels at home. So anyway, there we go. There's our shaker. We've got the little shells. We've got the different color sequins, and we got some sea stars in there. Really cute. Really cute. So I will get creative another time with putting a little sentiment. I could always put it right across here too, but I'm going to have to think on that. All right. So thanks so much for watching today. And remember, it is a day that you can order today and tomorrow, May 2nd and 3rd. I can't believe it's May. Today and tomorrow, you can order and get double reward points. Double reward points. That's great. But you have to start with a $20 order, which, of course, how often do we order less, right? So $20 normally gets you 20 points. You'll get 40 points. So that's an awesome deal. The points you can use on future orders. You can't use it on the order that you're earning them on. So they'll be used on a future order, but you can bank them and save them for up to a year. So that's really a great perk. So that's, you order something for 20, it's like getting it for half price because you buy 20, you get 20 later on. So, right, it's like getting $40 worth of stuff for 20. So that's an awesome thing. So you don't have to use host codes anymore. You get the rewards, and it's just going to be, I'm just so excited for my customers to be able to do that and to take advantage of those rewards. All right. So new catalog starting on the 6th on Tuesday. Check the website. If you don't have a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. So reach out. I'd be happy to send you one. And that I can help you out with your orders if you need anything like that. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you if you came back to the live or if you're catching the replay to watch me finish up here. Hope you enjoy the shaker card. Lots of possibilities. Doesn't have to be ocean themed. Just put some party fun things in there. Birthday card, celebration, whatever. Congratulations, something. Make it fun. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye now.